Nithyanandam, everybody. Part 7 of Bhagavad-Gita Demystifyed, Volume 1 by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So today I'm going to revisit once again, and I believe it'll be probably for the last time today, in terms of the question that came up on page 363. So page 363, a few days ago, I flicked to a random page, and it so happened to be a question and answer page. So the question one of the devotees had placed to Swamiji, and I started to read it, and then I realized that I feel like I need to internalize more and share more about it. So it's become like a 7-part expansion. And today I feel will be likely the last day in terms of visiting this question and answer. Okay, so the question that came up on page 363, and it was to do with the relationships, was a devotee asking Swamiji directly the question, Swamiji, when a relationship is not working out, when should we persevere, and when should we abandon it and get on with our lives? So the past 6 days I have been read the answer from Bhagavan, and also shared some insights that I feel I was getting from the sharing. And so I'm gonna do the last part today. So I had read the entire answer in part 1 itself, and I've taken little chunks of each one and shared more in depth to see what more I could get out of it. And then, so like sharing insights and clicks spontaneously on the go, rather than thinking through and then coming and sharing. So it's much more, puts me on the spot and helps me be a lot more dynamic. So anyway, where I had left off yesterday was Bhagavan had shared part of his answer that attending the Life Bliss program level 1, which is the 7 chakra meditation, is the solution as well. So I'm going to expand on that more now. The program is called Nithya Dhyan Yoga now. So it used to be called Life Bliss program level 1, which is what Bhagavan's answer is referring to here in this book. So here we go. Okay, so normally I'm going to start where I left off. Normally one would respond from the same energy center or another blocked center. So Swamiji's Bhagavan is talking about chakras and the blocked energy center. So the blocked chakras is what he's referring to here. Just, going back from yesterday's answer. We tend to respond to an angry person with anger or fear. However, we have the capability to respond to all such interactions from an open heart chakra. All that we need to do is respond with unconditional love. Whether a person comes to us in anger, fear, worry, or ego, it is possible to respond with love and with no expectation in return. You may think that this is impractical. It is not. If you try this, you will find that your relationships improve miraculously. It is especially difficult with people close to you, especially a spouse, and therefore all the more reason to practice with one's spouse. Many people say and believe it when they say it, that they love the whole world. When you ask them to prove that they love their spouse, they are stumped. People talk about transactional analysis and other such techniques. They talk about cross-communication between parent and child. Ultimately, all communication is based on emotions and feelings. These emotions are linked to the various energy centers. Love is the most powerful emotion. It is the only emotion that can overcome all other emotions when it is spontaneous and unconditional. This is why in every culture and religion, love is associated with the divine and the heart is associated with love. Open your heart, energize your heart center, and let unconditional love flow out of you. It will transform you and transform others. So yesterday or the day before, we were talking about love and how we define love in our day-to-day life, how it is transactional. If you do this for me, I'm gonna do this for you. It's very much a give and take. And we may even have in our conversations or in our communication saying, it has to be it can't be a give relationship. It has to be give and take relationship. I had also mentioned that in the guaranteed solutions, which is actually all of the content, pretty much most of the content of the Nitya Dhyan yoga program, that covers the 7 chakras. And especially so, I love the Anahata chakra, which is the heart center content, the chapter, which really goes in depth and addresses all the conditioned way we are trained, if you like, conditioned way we are conditioned to give and receive love. Or the idea of love is actually not even love, it's attention need and approval seeking. So first looking at our very definition of love first, and then even transitioning into unconditional love, what it takes. It takes a lot of awareness. I feel that when it comes to another person is being a particular way, to constantly respond from an open heart. I can see that I'm not always able to respond. I do react. And you can see the difference between when there's patience and when there is no vested interest, how I'm able to respond with a lot more patience and a lot more compassion when all the judgments are dropped, expectations are dropped. So in any case, I personally, I feel that I have started to see glimpses of the truth that Bhagavan is sharing here about unconditional love. I would say that I've seen glimpses. I've also seen myself really react from a very tantrum conditioned, a conditioned way, where if I don't get possessive, if I don't get something a certain way, then I would say that is pretty much a very old past. But I do recognize the challenges where it'd be like too easy to give up on a relationship and to just say, okay, I'm done with it and move on. It takes a lot more courage, I feel, to dig in and see what more depth, from what more can be given from a deeper space. What more can be given in a relationship from a deeper space. So without kind of aimlessly speaking into the camera, I want to make sure that I cover some value for everybody that has been watching or will be watching the video. The summary of it all I'm catching is, in the end, staying or leaving has to come from the space of completion, and really from the right understanding about what love is, what our expectations are, and also giving ourselves the opportunity to learn to be a lot more expansive. A lot of the times we are just like, okay, if I get something, I get something out of this. If I don't get anything out of this relationship, then I don't want to be here anymore. Tomorrow, I feel I'm going to share from the Guaranteed Solutions about Bhamati. Really beautiful story about Bhamati, which has always stayed with me. And yesterday I mentioned how I feel that Swamiji is always in the same way with us. It was yesterday or the day before, I forget now. But he's silently, and he's really the Bhamati of my life. That I'm busy doing something, and I think I'm busy doing something, and he's continuously, consistently, always there, blessing, supporting, regardless of what my ups and downs are. So I'll share that story, and I'm sure you'll be able to catch what sentiment I want to share when it comes to Swamiji and him being, how I experience Swamiji. And to tell you the truth, what I would aspire to also be for other people. However, I can see there's a gap between where I want to be and where I am now. And some of these sharings are helping me to realize that the transition is possible. Okay, so it's not just, okay, it's a nice story about Bhamati, it worked for Bhamati, but and it's, yes, Swamiji is an incarnation, so he can be unconditionally loving, but maybe it's not for me. Actually, that's not the truth. It is for all of us. It is for me. At least I feel it's for me. If you want to experience for yourself, it's worth testing out some of the techniques that Swamiji has given, Bhagavan has given in Guaranteed Solutions, for how to open the heart center, how to completely be from the space of unconditional love and drop all attention seeking and approval seeking. So that helps us to transition into unconditional love. Anyway, this is, I feel I'm done with this question and this answer and looking at it in depth. Tomorrow we'll look at the Bhamati story. I just love the stories in Guaranteed Solutions. A quick hi to Saras, to Sad, to Shelly, to Rachel, to Priya, Priya Jignesh, to Gurupriya, Tag Eunice, Tagrid Eunice, LN Narayanan, Nate, and Nature. I think it's Nature. Yes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. Really, really appreciate your you coming when I come on live, for you guys to be there and to listen to what I'm sharing. It feels good. If there's, again, if there's something you feel that can be added to my understanding, please share. Any questions, please share as well. And I'll attempt to make sure I attend to your questions, your comments. And I have been posting these videos on my YouTube channel, so you're welcome to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Yes, and I trust that these sharings are adding value. It's helping me for sure be a lot more authentic with people, because I feel that this part, which was, okay, I cannot be a certain way on the camera, I have to be polished, I have to be perfect. All of these ideas are just disappearing, which is good, so I can just relax and be myself. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, Nithyananda.